Welcome back. As 2028 election chatter is heating up, Vice President J.D. Vance getting ready in his own special way. He is training alongside Navy SEALs out in California. Vance says he recently did a 90-minute workout. That's a long time. He carried logs, he climbed rope, he ran along the beach, and it left him, quote, feeling like he was hit by a freight train. Vance is now leading the Republican pack. A new CNN poll out shows Vance leading by 18% among Republicans and Republican-leaning voters. California's Governor Gavin Newsom, by comparison, has taken the top spot for Democrats at 6%. Vance is already sizing up his competition like this.
Now, the Democrats are already talking about 2028, and it looks like they're going to nominate a California liberal who's presided over rolling blackouts, open borders, and unchecked violent gangs. They're just trying to settle on whether it's going to be Gavin Newsom or Kamala Harris.
All right, Jimmy, we are now almost 1 year into the administration.
Yep.
Do we need absolutely to keep seeing middle-aged government officials working out? And if so, why?
Listen, I like the Maha thing. This is not the week. Like, I like J.D. Vance, but nobody wants to see your workout video. It's Christmas week. I am so fat right now. I was out of breath reading. Okay, I was in my living room before. I'm like, Jenny, I'm going to need a spotter turning this page. This is not the week for like self-empowerment. If you want to do this January 10th, January 2nd, amen. But nobody wants to hear about your workout routine. Well, I was dunking 2 cookies at the same time in the green room.
What about a carve out for the airport? Do we want to see middle-aged government officials working out in the airport?
No, I'm not a fan of that either.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll tell you why too. Because there's this class warfare thing that's always in play at the airport. Everybody's trying to line up before you. Everybody's trying to box you out to get the seat. Okay, the idea that you now got to work in at the gym with people you can't stand. Imagine how mad you get at the gym waiting to get on a treadmill, but now you've got to wait for someone's emotional support llama to walk off their stress before you get your treadmill. This is all going to backfire.
On the politics angle of this, Lisa, the reality is that Vance is the front runner and probably always has been. The president's been touting him as the successor to the MAGA movement. His closest rival, Secretary of State Rubio, is behind him significantly in this poll. And he also, by the way, insists that he is not running and doesn't want to. But this is how it is appearing things are lining up now, but it's still 3 years away, right? I mean, this could all change dramatically.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But I just want to say the vice president working out the Navy SEALs is so much cooler than when we see Representative Eric Swalwell posting those thirst trap videos back in July of him like pumping 135 pounds. And then you had all these people weighing in being like, dude, that's not that much. Like, you're not bragging here, you know? So I would say working out the SEALs is so much cooler. Also, I got winded walking around the building today. So
Proud moment. Proud moment.
I'm in your camp right now. To the politics, yeah, I mean, Julian, 2028 is a lifetime away. Obviously, the vice president is being set up to be the heir apparent to President Trump. But, you know, so much of it hinges on what does the Trump administration look like exiting the White House? How popular is President Trump at the time? Now, we've gotten some good economic news, which might set the Republicans up ahead of the midterm elections. You've got inflation cooling. You also have super fast economic growth that we saw during the third quarter. So all of these things are positive for the Trump administration. If the economy is booming, exiting the White House, then, yeah, that will surely set him up. But, yeah, it's way too far away. That's a lifetime in politics.
But
I'll be working out between then.
One person who doesn't think it's too far is Erica Kirk. She endorsed the vice president for president 2028 over the weekend, right? I mean, that was a huge signal to the rest of the party that if he decides to throw his hat in the ring, he's got the full weight of TPUSA, all of their fundraising prowess, all of their energy with the youth vote behind him. That ain't nothing.
No, and he's also been a very solid messenger for the Trump administration. It seems like he's settled into his role nicely. You know, he's definitely a pit bull. He's an attack guy. But I think he's refining his message and his performance, which is what you have to do. Marco Rubio said in Vanity Fair that he is all behind J.D. Vance. He has no interest in running and challenging him if the vice president does, in fact, choose to run for the nomination in 2028. And I suspect that he will. He's got a solid story to tell. The country likes electing presidents from Ohio. But I will say this, like, yes, the Navy SEALs are impressive. But if J.D. Vance had chosen to train with the Rangers, he wouldn't have survived 5 minutes, let alone 90.
Oh,
Zing.
throwing down the gauntlet.
Like that.
I was just thinking while you were talking, it's hard to be a good vice president, right? It's hard to toe the line between doing good work and making that known, but not stealing the show, overstepping the president. It's a fine balancing act. Not many people get it right. What do you think, Paul?
I think you're right. I mean, it's a little bit like being a first lady. There's a certain proscribed, realistically, there is a placeholder, right? The founding fathers saw that the big flaw throughout history is that nobody plans for the next guy, right? And so that's why he's there. I think, look, there's an aspect of this that I get. First of all, you can make the argument that if you're going to take on that job, especially after the last guy, God bless him, you want somebody who's up to it, who's physically fit. So I think there's that. There's an optic here that is playing to the idea that we are the people who are ready to take on the hard role, make the hard decisions, and we are going. It's almost like, you know what, if you pass it, like at a police department, if you, a lot of police departments, if you're physically fit, they give you like an extra point on the promotion test. So like maybe you get an electoral college vote if you like pass it. Can you imagine J.D. Pritzker trying to do this? It would be like a Chris Farley skit.
That would be funny.
You know what I mean? But seriously, it shows that he's a young guy. He's up to the task. He's a lot younger than everything else. He might have a little bit of a JFK thing going, but on the right, which you don't normally get. That's something that the left does.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.